Hello there, Data Recovery Guru here. Hope all is well. I am dog tired. I'm very tired. I am actually here in my garage at home, and the reason being is because I had to work on an urgent case for a customer here in my garage in recovering the data overnight for a customer that needed the data urgently recovered for them. The reason I'm in my garage is because my son hasn't been feeling well, and so I had to, be here overnight to give him medicine and make sure he's okay. Every 4 hours, give him some medicine so he can get better. It got cold here in the Northeast, so in order to help this customer, I had to bring the equipment here in my garage at home from the lab and be able to provide the service for them right away. And we were able to successfully recover the data. We will deliver it to them later on today. But because I'm already here in the garage and I've already worked on the recovery, I wanted to highlight just how fantastic PC3000 Portable Pro as a tool is, so that you can understand how much success we can have using this tool. So let me show you. So look, if you want to have success in any kind of like business, but in particular in data recovery, advanced data recovery, because that's what we are talking about. We are a data recovery company here, Data Recovery Guru. You need to have tools and skills in order to have success, right? You can have the skills, but you don't have good tools, then success is likely gonna be not gonna be like very high, right? On the other hand, you can have the great tools, all you want to, but you don't have the skills, then success is not gonna happen. So we need to have both in order to have success. So this brings me to the tools, right? In order to have great success, and what I mean by success is providing customers with really advanced kind of like services where you can provide quick service, flexible service by going to their locations, right? You can go to a company somewhere. You can go to a government agency. You can go to the airport. You can go to, I don't know, parking lot, marketplace, wherever there is a customer that needs data recovery, where there's a computer, where there is data recovery needed or forensic service that is needed, you can take your equipment there and do the work. But if you have equipment that is like big computers with monitors and keyboards and mice and hard drives and so on, it's very difficult to do that effectively, right? It's a lot of headache. So this brings me to explaining how great of a tool is the PC3000 Portable Pro tool built by AceLab. Here's the tool right here. As you can see, it's portable, it's small. However, it is kind of like the best tool that you can have on the market. 1 second here. Many people will look at this as the Swiss Army knife of data recovery, right? Because you can do basically anything. Just like a Swiss Army knife has like a blade, has like a blade for cutting, sharp blade. It has scissors. It has a corkscrew. It has like a can opener. Very, very like advanced kind of like tool, right? In the same way, PC3000 Portable Pro allows us to work with a variety of devices in order to flexibly provide on-site service to customers. Just like I am here in my garage, I can actually go to a company somewhere and provide the service either in a van, at their office space, in a closet somewhere. It doesn't matter. As long as we have power and we have PC Portable Pro along with a performance like a laptop, we can do the work. Very portable, very flexible, very powerful. It's an upgrade from the PC3000 Portable 3. where the Pro has basically better chipset, better RAM, a much more CPU, much more advanced CPU, as well as independent channels for working with different devices. Okay, so they're all independent. You can work with it in different sessions, okay, without interfering or affecting the performance of one channel to the other. Okay, it's fantastic. This tool was released in October 2024. We were able to get it. We've been using it for about a month very successfully. And so since I did this job here in my garage for this customer with this SSD here in Boston, I want to take advantage. So I just laid out the different adapters here so I can explain to you how PC3000 Portable Pro is the Swiss knife of forensic and data recovery services. Okay, PC3000 Portable Pro allows us to work with traditional hard disk drives. Okay, it allows us to work with a variety of SSDs. For example, this is a MacBook SSD. Okay, this is another MacBook SSD from the Apple 1708 model. We have an adapter for that. For the MacBook SSD, we have an adapter for this. Okay, if you need to use Intel Optane SSD, kind of like recovery, we have an adapter for that. Here it is. What else do we have here? If you need to use SAS drives, we have an adapter for that. And if you have like a PCIe 16 kind of SSD module with this kind of interface, we have an adapter for that as well. You can use this to connect to PC3000 Portable Pro. Okay. Furthermore, we have USB based devices. You can use USB flash drive to connect. You can use an USB adapter to connect your micro and micro SD cards, and you can even connect USB external drives as well, right? You can connect this here, and then the USB port for the cable, it'll go in here. All right, so very, very flexible, just like a Swiss Army knife. It supports just about every tool you can think of. Okay, furthermore, because it's an advanced tool and the most advanced tools out of the PC3000 suite of tools, with hard disk drives and SSDs, you have a terminal port where it allows you to do kind of like troubleshooting for firmware issues, and you can do reporting, advanced reporting, and so on. So very, very advanced kind of tool. Actually, I'm going to demonstrate in a second accessing this hard disk drive and allowing to work with the firmware. So lastly, in terms of hardware, what I would like to show is that, let's say, for example, because of the high portability of the device, we can do some further tricks with it that are very, very beneficial in allowing to recover data for customers. So say, for example, we have a failed solid state drive like this one here, right? With solid state technology, because the NAND flash modules here could be tricky to work with, in order to improve the recovery process, sometimes we could use heating or cooling techniques that would allow for improvement of areas that are highly degraded. Okay, so what we could do is, so for example, we could use this adapter here that's basically plugged into this red adapter, so that we can extend the ability to take the solid state into a different environment where we can cool it or heat it. So let's say we plug the solid state in here. Imagine that's plugged in here right now. Okay, just imagine that it's in here now. Okay, what we could, oops, one second. What we could do with the solid state, we can actually put it into different devices where we can heat it up like this. Okay, we can connect it there like this. Okay, imagine that it's connected. It's hard to do it with one hand. Okay, and then we can use different temperature variations to heat it up, right? This way we can work directly with the chips in a much better way that allows for better reading, okay? Alternatively, let's say heating doesn't work. What we could do is we can use a freezer like this one here. This is an advanced freezer. It's about $3,000, so it's not something that you'll want to buy, okay? So in order to freeze properly, you'll have to remove the cover, right? And then we'll put the solid state in here like this. Yeah. Then we close the cover and then we can work on it. Now, to do this in a different way, you'll have to basically put this in your freezer at home or use ice cubes or whatever other weird, kind of like techniques. But these are not very effective, right? So this is the beauty of PC3000 Portable Pro with adapters and extension cords. It allows you to basically connect in a manner where it's very flexible for you to do the work. And again, this freezer is portable, right? What are you gonna do? You're gonna bring your entire fridge and freezer to a job site from your kitchen? That's crazy, right? That's not gonna work. So once again, the portability and flexibility of PC3000 Portable Pro is fantastic in allowing to bring such a variety of tools and techniques to the customer's job site. Okay, so that is the hardware part of our discussion here, right? Let's look a little about software now. So PC3000 Portable Pro, in terms of hardware and software, has grown from the quote-unquote parent PC3000 tools. By the way, they have a PC3000 Mobile Pro tool as well. PC3000 UDMA, PC3000 Express, where over time we have grown to have a collection of software support for just about all the hard drive manufacturers you can think of, right? Seagate, Western Digital, Maxtor, Toshiba, Hitachi, IBM, Fujitsu is in there too, Samsung. So all of the hard disk drives manufacturers you can think of, we have support for in terms of firmware work, reporting, and so on. As PC3000 has evolved over time, and with the different kinds of SSDs coming on the market, we don't have a SATA SSD over here, but that is included as well. They also have SSD support for a variety of SSDs, okay? So if you click this button here, now we are switching to the SSD modules support for different manufacturers. So we have the ADATA, the AMD, A-Pacer, Corsair. And as you go on the list, you probably see some that are more popular, the PNY, the Samsung of the worlds, Silicon Power, Seagate, Lite-On, Kingston, SanDisk, if you scroll to the bottom, Transcend, Team Group, all kinds of SSDs that are being supported here, whether it's SATA-based SSD, whether it's now we see that they have USB integrated SSDs. Those are not very popular yet, but PC3000 developers are working on bringing as much support for the different SSDs that are coming on the market, as well as the NVMe kind of SSD, right? Whether it is from PCs or whether it is from MacBooks. MacBooks have more proprietary kind of like firmware, and those are very difficult to do reverse engineering on. But either way, PC3000 developers for ISLab are constantly working in providing as many solutions as possible in order to help customers, okay? So having this kind of like platform to work at software level with the different kinds of SSDs and hard disk drives and all other tools, including RAID arrays, If you need RAID work, you can use the RAID module here in the software, and you can access data from RAID arrays and extract it and provide it to the customer. So the ability to have this kind of level of software and this kind of level of hardware in terms of portability is phenomenal. There's nothing like this on the market. It truly is the Swiss Army knives of data recovery. Now, let's kind of like demonstrate a little bit with this particular hard drive, for example, kind of like how it works, okay? So we'll open the software for this particular port 2, right? So this is port 2 here, all right, where the hard drive is connected. We have the terminal connected so we can do some work. And we're gonna switch back to the hard disk module, power on, waiting for the drive to get ready and wait for factory commands. Okay, got ready. Okay, let's access the firmware. There we go. Okay, it recognized the correct family. As you can see, there's a variety of families for CK drives. Just about all of them are supported here. Obviously, with newer models coming on the market, they need to be reverse engineered and solutions added to the database of hard drives so that it is supported. So it takes a little bit of time as the Ace Lab developers are working on devices, but nevertheless, it's fantastic. So here we can do like tests and reports. For example, we can save all the firmware like this. Okay, off it goes. So this is reading the firmware. Firmware is basically like the hard drive's operating system, just like a PC needs Windows or a Mac needs Mac OS in order to operate. So the software operates the hardware, right? Hardware without software, we don't have a working computer. So the same way, a hard drive has its own operating system that operates the hardware. That is called firmware in hard drives. Okay, so as you can see here, we backed up all the firmware. Everything looks good. We can do reports. We can look at smart reporting here, for example. We can see all the smart parameters to show that this is actually a healthy drive, no particular issues. Had there been an issue, it would have been highlighted in red. Then if you want to do like forensic reporting, you can go here, for example, and you can save a report like this. Okay, so if you want to provide to a customer at the job site a diagnostic report of this particular hard drive and the kind of testing that we have done, we can. So PC3000 will generate this report for you, and you can obviously download it from here, save it, and you can email it to the customer right on the spot as you work on the forensic or data recovery job that you are hired to go and do over there. So fantastic, you know, to be able to provide reporting right away on the job so that the customer can see right away what is going on with the hard drive and make decisions about forensics and data recovery procedures. This is phenomenal. Okay, now let's do an example on a solid state device like this one, for example. This is a Kingston. I'm gonna peel this off so you can kind of see what's going on. See, it's a Kingston NVMe solid state. Okay, so just gonna show you kind of like what we can do with it. All right, so same thing, just like we did with the hard disk drive, we're gonna switch to the SSD module here. We're gonna power on. This is going to be on port 0, okay, of the software. So here on the actual tool, on the hardware, that's port 0, okay, that's where we are connected. All right, so port 0, let's do some testing to see the health of this hard drive. I'm gonna run like a little scan. Okay, it initializes correctly. That's fantastic. Like I said, this solid state came in for recovery, so it has some issues. It's not in great condition, so let's run a little scan. We can take a look at it here to see how it's running. Okay. That's running into errors. See? It ran into an error here. But it picked up and it's continuing to read. Okay. See? So it has some issues in the beginning of the SSD where files are stored, but then it picked up and it's working correctly. So that's why it has issues. That's why the customer needed data recovery, because the SSD is degraded and it's not functioning correctly. So this will prevent this the laptop that this came out of to boot up and run consistently. Okay. By the way, I'd like to show you another great feature here with PC3000. It's called Power Monitor. Actually, I missed showing it in the menu. So you go to Tools, you go to Power Monitor. Did I miss it again? Sorry about that. Let me do it one more time. So Tools, Power Monitor. Okay, so this is a power monitor allowing us to see when we power the device on the 5 and 12 volt lines, kind of like if we are getting the correct electricity pumped through or not, you know. So here you go, power on. And let me do it again so you can see. Power on. Okay, and here it goes. See, here we can monitor to see what kind of activity we get on the power to see if this device is actually working correctly or not. If this is not happening on the sinus wave over here, on the sine wave over here, then this device is not electronically working correctly. So we'll have to address whatever electronics issue you may have, whatever chips may be on there that are damaged, we'll have to address that. So being able to monitor the power to see how it oscillates on the sine wave here, it allows us to get a quick understanding of what's happening with the SSD, because SSD doesn't have any mechanical components, right? There's no reading heads, there's no disk spinning like we have in hard disk drives. And so because it doesn't make any noises typically, sometimes some SSD make some noises, but typically they don't. It's hard to understand whether it is electronics issue, firmware issues, other issues, and so on, you know. So being able to have tools to monitor power, again, it's a fantastic way to kind of like get a sense of what's happening in terms of failure. Okay, so we can close this out if you want to, and let's kind of give you a sense of how to access the files on a drive. Okay, so we're going to use this solid state. We're going to open a new task. Okay, we're going to call a new task. It's going to be on this channel here, port 0, NVMe 0. Okay, we're going to make a copy to image. Okay, it's loading up. Let's see, can we read data? You're going to go to sector editor here. Let's see, as you can see, we see data. Can we see more bytes of data? Yes, we can. Okay, so it's readable and accessible. Let's see if we see folder structure. All right, so we have the GPT partition table there. As you can see, this is a APFS file system, Apple file system. Solid state. All right. And then as you can see, it's running into some kind of errors. So we have a nice log over here telling us what's going on with the activity on the solid state as we are trying to access files. As you can see, it has issues. Okay. It require a lot more work to recover the files on this one. Right now we are just testing. We actually have completed the recovery on this drive, and we can open the test for that one and we can show you how we did it. So let me pause it, leave this view here because we're not going to be able to access the file. See, it's struggling to read. As I was about to close the software, see the log here, PC3000 is presenting us with what the issue is. The catalog file that's responsible for providing the folder tree on the solid state is damaged, right? It's invalid. So that's what the issue is. So great reporting technology here. You know, you don't have this kind of reporting with basic tools that you'll have at home, or you know, even with more advanced tools that are basically free that you can install on your computer. This is very advanced kind of like stuff. Okay, so once again, we are on port 0. Like I said, we have already done the recovery for this customer. We're going to work with the copy that we have already created. Okay, the task is going to load. All right, and now we're going to be able to see folder structure. We had to do some scans to basically get the folder structure on this. I'm going to back up a little bit because I don't want to show the customer's data, okay? So here you go. We have folder structure, and we are able to recover the customer's files now. So that's what we did for this customer. We selected everything that we see on there in the folder structure, and we recover all the files to another external drive that we're going to deliver to the customer. Kind of like this one, except that it was an SSD. So that's kind of like a glimpse into the software component of PC3000 Portable Pro. There's one more thing that I'd like to highlight. Just 1 second, let me pause for one moment. Let's say we want to do some quick testing on this hard drive without having the need to actually connect PC3000 Pro to a computer, okay? So if we close this out here, okay, and disconnect PC3000 Pro from the system, what we can do now, using a stylus that Ace Lab actually provided, very nice stylus here, we can actually use the tool through the PC3000 Pro's interface, okay? Isn't that cool? Like, how great is that, okay? So we can do diagnostics directly on the drive right here, if you wanted to, through the Portable Pro's interface, okay? So we can do diagnostics, we can do copying, we can do erasing, we can do power monitor, we can turn it off. So we have an interface here with different kinds of options that we can actually use without the need of a computer. That's like unbelievable. You know, it's super convenient if you want to do quick testing. Okay, I can literally take this into a little briefcase. Actually, Ace Lab provides a really nice briefcase too as well. If you want to get the high-end package, you can get the briefcase as well for the Portable Pro. But if not, just put it in a nice box, or you know, another kind of like briefcase, or even like a nice portable bag. Put PC3000 Portable Pro with the power cable and so on, a couple of adapters, and you can go on site, connect the power cord right into the socket, and you're off and running, ready within minutes to test, right? So let's do a test on this hard disk drive using this diagnostics interface here. So let's do diagnostics. Okay, let's select the port, right? We're going to be on port 2. Okay, port 2, SATA, PATA, NVMe. What is this? This is going to be a SATA hard drive, right? So let's leave it that like that. Press OK. See, the hard drive is powering on, and you can actually hear it. It's spinning up. Okay. Check it out. Look at this. Okay, so it read the correct model, the serial number is correct, firmware, capacity, okay. So now we can go ahead and test, run different tests. Okay, so close this. Wait. I haven't used the interface as much. Okay, very good. So let's do, you can use your finger too if you want to. All right. 1 second. Because I'm so used to doing everything on the computer, I haven't played as much as with the interface here. But basically, I forgot that the menu is in here. So what mode would you like to do? What do you want to do with it, right? You want to power on, power off. You want to read the ID. You want to do a smart view, just like we did on the computer. We can do that. Okay, say okay. And it's going to provide us the report. Okay, just like we saw on the computer, that there are no errors in those particular categories. You can go up and down to check all of them out. Okay, everything looks good. Close that out. Okay. We can do a retest just like we did on the computer. Okay. Say okay, and off it goes. You have like a percentage here as the tool is scanning the drive. Okay, if he runs into any errors, it's going to report, running into errors. So we're gonna find out if there's a problem or not. This hard drive is actually in decent working condition, and it's not gonna run into reading errors. We are just using it for demonstration purposes here, so we can gotta get a sense of like what's happening. Let's do the same with the solid state here. Let's see how that works. Okay, so let's stop it. Okay, close. Okay, abort it. Any power of the hard drive. As you heard, it spun down. Okay. Okay, so let's exit here. I'm working a little better with my finger than the actual stylus because I have better control with where I'm pressing. I kept the film, this plastic film here, on purpose so that I can use my finger as opposed to the stylus. But if you take the film off, I'm pretty sure the stylus is going to work better. But I like to protect my equipment, so I like to keep the film on. Okay, so now the solid state is on port 0, so let's go to port 0. Okay, port 0. This is not a SATA, this is an NVMe. Solid state. Okay, very good. So we're going to do a retest on port 0 on this NVMe SSD. It's going to start from 0, and it's going to go all the way to the last LBA, which is the last sector. Do we need to do hashes or anything for forensics right now? We don't have to right now because this is not a forensic job. But for forensic purposes, we could create a hash in order to prove that the testing and the imaging and cloning for this particular solid state was done correctly in terms of forensic practice. And so we can use hashes here in order to demonstrate in court as evidence that this SSD was processed correctly in accordance to proper forensic principles. Okay, so you can select any of those if you like the portable Pro to generate a hash for you. We're gonna click none over here because we're not gonna provide that right now. Okay, oh, sorry, selected the wrong thing. Come on. Okay, none. Press OK, and off it is. Okay, so as we saw on the computer, there are some read errors here, right, on the hard drive. That's why it's struggling. Okay, I'm sorry, not the hard drive, the solid state drive. So as we saw on the computer running into errors earlier, the same way we can test directly to the PC3000 Portable Pro's interface and see the errors as well. So you see, we can do troubleshooting here without needing a computer. We can use just the PC3000 Portable Pro to get a fairly good understanding of what's happening with the solid state or the hard disk drive or the USB drive or whatever other device you like to use. Okay, can we actually extend the view here? Let's see if we click these arrows. Oh, that's actually for something different. Okay, very good. Oh, okay, so if you want to move the page, you use the plus and minus signs to see the entire view of the display. Okay, very nice. So as you can see here, we are at 1% so far, and we are running into errors. It looked like it picked back up, and it's working okay. So this solid state, in the beginning of the solid state where some of the data is, when the GPT tables and so on, to partition tables, it has issues. It looks like it got degraded. And it makes sense because that's the partition tables is one of the areas that is highly used, right? Whenever you power the drive on, those are the areas that are most communicated with, right? So it makes sense that it got degraded in the area. Anyways, let's stop this. Very nice progress bar here. All right, let's stop it. Okay, it aborted, that means like stop. Very good. Let's go back. Cancel. We are done. Okay, very good. So if you want to do other stuff, let's see, can we do measurements? Yeah, we can do the current and voltage on port 0, which is this here. Actually, let's do it on the hard disk drive because it's more interesting. We have already done this on the computer. And we saw the graph, but let's do it for the hard disk drive and see what that is like on this particular screen. So let's go to port 2 because that's where the hard drive is connected to, right? So press OK. Okay, it's gonna power on in the same view, right? Just like we saw on the computer earlier. All right, what is it doing? Let's pause for a second until I figure it out. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. I had to press this button here in order for the drive to power on. As you hear, it's spinning up, and now it's recording the current and the voltages for the two power lines, the 5-volt line and the 12-volt line. If the drive doesn't spin, you will see no activity, right? But now that the drive spins, we can kind of get a sense of what's happening. See? It's really awesome. All right, so let's exit here. All right, cancel. Oops, sorry, let's go back. Very good. So other things you can do copying if you want to, where you can connect, for example, if you want to make a copy of the data from this hard drive, we'll connect another hard drive to another channel. Say we connect the hard drive to this channel, and then we can copy data from there, from that one to this one, just by using the interface here. So it's really awesome. So I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of the tool, kind of how it works and what we can do with it in order to have super success in our business. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'm just super excited to have used this tool for a month and have great success with it. And I just wanted to share that with everybody so that if you did decide to invest into something like this, you can. All you gotta do is go to acelab.eu.com. Acelab, it's an European company out of the Czech Republic, I believe. So you go to their menu here and you can see, excuse me, a listing of all their devices. There's PC3000 Portable Pro. You have the Express system, UDMA, SAS system, RAID, software systems, SSD. You have the PC3000 SSD module, PC3000 flash, mobile devices if you're interested. And once again, like I said earlier, any of those tools, if you need a training, you can actually go to their training, their conferences. They even have a PC3000 blog, PC3000 support blog that you can check out. And they have articles here for the different type of technologies and research and development as they built on this hardware and software technology for data recovery and forensics. And so feel free to check all of this out. Contact them, send them an email. There's a contact us area here that you can click on and like send them a message in regards to whatever it is that you're interested in purchasing from them. They even have a phone number if you'd like to talk to them. So once again, you can check out any of their tools. But like I said, the Swiss Army knives of all the tools for everything, it is PC3000 Portable Pro. For everything, forensic, data recovery, especially in a matter where it allows you to be portable and provide clients with very flexible service, quickly, efficiently, professionally, and so on. Thanks for watching. If we come across other videos where we can help people or they are curious about all kinds of data recovery and forensic technologies, we'll continue to post videos. We typically make shorter long-term content videos, but in this case we made a longer one so people can watch and learn and satisfy their curiosity about what we do here. Once again, I'm in my garage doing urgent data recovery for customers because the needs happened in a matter where everything was unpredictable. My son being sick, this customer being in a deep hole, in trouble, in having to recover those files. But anyway, we got it done. We were able to help the customer. We'll deliver the data to them later on today, and drive to Boston and make them happy and help their customers too. You know, so we help our customer, and our customer helps their customer. You know, as they have their own business to handle. You know. So if you need help with questions or whatever, comment in the YouTube description comment section. If you have very advanced technical questions about PC3000 and Ace Lab tools in general, you comment about those as well. We can provide you short answers, but for very advanced technical kind of like information, it is best to contact the Ace Lab tech support, like I showed you on the website earlier, and they'll be more than happy to provide you the different packages for the hardware and software. They have great tech support, highly recommend it, and explore, you know, whatever combination of hardware and software tools makes best sense for your business as an investment. So, you know, don't hesitate to ask questions, and you'll be in a good spot. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, as always, you know what you need to do. Like, subscribe, share, and so on. Only if you find it valuable. If it's not valuable to you, don't worry about it. We never ask customers to do any of that. Okay? But the reason I'm asking to like, subscribe, and share is because other people like you may be interested, because this is a worldwide kind of like a service, right? Data recovery and forensic service. This happens everywhere in all the countries all over the globe. So there may be other people that may be interested in this service. And so the more you are engaging with the content, the more likely other people are going to be able to view and benefit from this as well. Okay? You don't have to, but if you found it valuable, go ahead and do what you need to do. All right? Once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate you, and we wish you the best of success. All right? All the best. Take care.